Hey guys, this is Matt with Comax Gaming and welcome to your second C++ tutorial. So in the previous tutorial what we did was just install code blocks, but we didn't code anything. So today we're gonna do a basic hello world program to start with, and so you can get the basics. Well, kind of the very basics. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you always want to do in a C++ file is include stuff. So in this case we are going to just include one library, and you're gonna see what's that in a second. So we're going to include, and hold on, I just stream. So as you can see, I'm using the greater than and smaller than, or whatever you want to call those. But yeah, these triangles, I guess. So I'm using this because IOStream is a library that it's like common. It's like built in what comes with C++. I'm trying to explain this the best way possible so you can understand what I'm saying. It's like built in C++, not SourceMod. My bad. So when we use this kind of libraries that come already with C++, we don't need to use the other include, I guess we could call it character, which is the quotes. Now we're only going to use quotes when we create our own include files. Now maybe this is going to be easier for you when we start using Visual Studio, because with that you have your own include files, and you have the include file that comes with C++ in another folder, so you can understand that better maybe. So yeah, but this is, for now we're just gonna use these beautiful characters over there to include stuff. So yeah, then the next thing we want to do is just define a namespace. Now what a namespace, actually I'm going to explain this in a second. The next thing is, actually I'm just going to type this. Okay, there we go. So the first thing we do is include our library, which is IOStream. Now for now we're going to define a library as a toolbox that is going to contain all the tools we need to actually make this program work. But it is actually a file that is going to contain all the functions that we need in order to make a program work. The next thing is using namespace std. Namespaces are like, how can I explain this? A namespace is what goes in front of a function or a variable from a different class to actually call it. Now let me put this with an example. If we were to comment that line out and we typed cout, which is the function to print out stuff to the console, and we do cout test, as you can see, when we compile this, let me bring this up. When we compile this, we should get an error, and yes, because cout is undeclared. Because although we did include IOStream and cout is part of IOStream, there are more than one class in IOStream, and std standard is the one that contains cout. So if we do std : and we compile, as you can see, we get no errors. So when we do using namespace std, we're just avoiding this over here. Now this comes in handy when we're gonna type a lot of lines. I wouldn't want to do std : blah 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 blah. So that's when we're gonna use it. But the problem is, if we're using a big library, another library, and we define the namespace, then we might have to use the namespace for that library. Why? Well, because we might be using more functions from that library than from IOStream. So I hope you're kind of getting this. So if we do put that line, we avoid typing this. So if we compile now, as you can see, we get no errors. So using namespace, as like I said, it's just gonna put std : in front of us, but we just don't see it. It's automatic for us. Int main is the function that the program is gonna look for when it starts. When it first starts, the program is gonna say, okay, where should I go? And it's gonna try to go here to the int main function. If this is not found, as you can see, it throws an error because we don't have, first of all, we don't have this function declared. But yeah, the program is not going to run either way. So you always have to use int main. Always. It's a function that it cannot change. I mean, I think you cannot even change the type of data. It always has to be int. And then we find the return. Because this is an int function, we need to return an integer, because we are telling our program that this function is going to give us back an integer by typing the word int in front of the function name. That's why we return. And I like typing 0, but you can type 1, 2, 50,000 if you like. Doesn't matter. I just like 0. But for this, it doesn't really matter. So the next thing we wanted to type is cout. Like I said before, cout is a function that is going to allow us to print stuff to the console, and we have to use this operator to actually print stuff. So cout, 2, not 1 but 2 of these, and then whatever you want. Hello world. And then I always like typing an end line. Now end line is also part of std, so if we were to avoid that line, we would have to do the following: std : over there, and as well over here. If we compile this, we get no errors. However, if I remove this and try to compile, bam, error, because it is undefined. So hello world. Now if we run this right now, as you can see, we get this hello world in our console. Beautiful. That is what cout does. Now if you want to print more than one thing, for example, if you want to print out a variable, hello world, and I don't know, some int a equals 15, then you would just type another pair of these and type a, and it's gonna show us hello world 15 because a equals 15. So I hope you guys understand this now. It's really easy. The basics are just very easy. In the next tutorial we might do something a bit more complicated. I don't know what yet, but I'll think about it. But yeah, once again, always includes a library. We use these characters to include a library that comes with C++, and the library is going to be IOStream. Using namespace, what namespace does, it just puts something before our functions, not all our functions, some functions, and the variables. So std contains cout, and that's why we don't have to put std over there. And then cout prints out stuff to the console with this operator right there, and then you put the text, and you can also put variables in it. And end line is just gonna, well, end the line. The basic tutorial, guys. I hope you liked it. Please rate it up if you did. The next one is coming, I don't know, probably next week, because I think I don't have time this week. I'm not sure. I'll try to upload a video. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.